Another week has come and gone, which means we have another round of Nintendo Switch 2 leaks to talk about. And you know what? I think it's funny because Nintendo came out this week and they confirmed the Switch 2 Direct, essentially saying the Direct will be taking place on April 2nd at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And I think internally for Nintendo, there's probably a lot of people who are like, I wish this Direct was tomorrow, right? There's so much information that they need to cover in this Direct, and they're not the ones controlling the narrative. The internet is controlling the narrative for Nintendo, and I guarantee you, they absolutely hate that. In fact, this week, the long-rumored theory that the Switch 2 Joy-Cons could be used as a mouse pretty much was confirmed, because the patents, let's pull those up real quick, the patents from Nintendo were published online, showing an individual holding the Switch 2 Joy-Cons like the mouse of a computer. Now, to be fair, we did see this get teased during the Nintendo Switch 2 revealed trailer that dropped last month, and essentially the idea is that you could take your Joy-Cons from going like this to being able to just put them on the table and moving around. And now that I've got my hand in this shape, I guess I'm just trying to figure out what games you'd play like this. Maybe you put it on the table, you play games, maybe you could do work. Maybe they've got Nintendo's Excel or Nintendo's Word. Maybe Microsoft Office will finally be on the Nintendo Switch. Maybe we get a browser and this is how we can kind of move. But being honest, knowing Nintendo, there's no shot that this device is probably going to have a browser at all. But I don't know. I guess just thinking about holding the device in that direction, first-person shooters could be fun, right? Maybe you get the PC concept, and instead of using the joystick to aim, you use the Joy-Con as a mouse to play on a first-person shooter. It could make COD pretty cool. Maybe you get some RTS games out of it, where it's just clicking. Or we get doom-scrolling TikTok and social media. So we get social media platforms on the service, and we can scroll using our Joy-Con mouse. But anyway, it's just interesting because it's not something that I look at the previous Switch and I'm like, man, really would love to be able to use my Joy-Con as a mouse. I've never said that once, and for me, that's where I'm like, man, this Direct can't come soon enough. Because I look at this and I'm just like, why? What do you need this for? What? In what world do you want to hold your mouse outside of obviously, first-person shooters and aiming on a computer? I get that, but what? There's got to be some other reason, right? Nintendo's going to have some other purpose for being able to use a mouse, and I'm very excited to hear that. But the other Nintendo Switch story that came out this week was involving Take-Two, right? And the Take-Two pretty much came out and said hey, we're planning on fully supporting the Nintendo Switch 2, and no games are off the table, which obviously you've got Take-Two, you've got Rockstar, you got GTA 6, and the internet goes wild, and they're like, GTA 6 coming to the Switch 2. Take-Two CEO confirms Grand Theft Auto 6 coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. Can the Switch 2 run Grand Theft Auto 6? Tune in tonight at 8 to find out more. And I guess where I'm at here, realistically speaking, is hold up. Okay, we don't know what the hardware is. Nintendo still has not confirmed the hardware officially. So we don't even know if the Switch 2 could handle Grand Theft Auto 6, right? Last we heard from Data Foundry was it was estimated that the Switch 2 will be consistent with the PlayStation 4 Pro. Spoiler alert, PlayStation 4 Pro likely not going to run Grand Theft Auto 6. So I guess I just don't see it running natively. Technically, you could have it run via the cloud. That would make sense. But I think what you have to do is when you see Take-Two, yes, we immediately think Grand Theft Auto, but let's think about all the other games, right? Civilization, it just launched for the Nintendo Switch. I think that it would make sense that game would be available for the Switch 2 as well. WWE 2K25, another one, no-brainer. PGA Tour 2K25, totally makes sense. Borderlands 4, makes sense. NBA 2K, obviously all of those games from 2K and Take-Two make sense. Put them in there. But, the fact that we immediately go Grand Theft Auto 6, I think is very disingenuous, and it's just let's get the expectations right here, because we're going to have people that show up to this Direct, and at the end of it, they're like, there was no Grand Theft Auto 6 announcement. What the hell, man? Grand Theft Auto 6 is not going to be on the Switch. This thing's going to be terrible. When it's in reality, we don't even know if this thing can run Grand Theft Auto 6. But anyway, back to the story. I want to dive into the specific comments here because I think that does explain a few things. Strauss Zelnick, basically the CEO of Take-Two, was asked about this on an investor's call. And essentially what Strauss said, according to Eurogamer, we've had obviously a long-standing relationship with Nintendo, and we've supported the platform when it makes sense for the individual release. There was a time when Nintendo platforms are really geared at younger audiences, and that was reflected in our release schedule. And now, today, the Switch, and potentially with Switch 2, the Switch device can support any audience. As you may have noted, Civilization 7 is now on the Switch, so while we have nothing specific to report, we actually would fully expect to support the Switch 2. Which, look, I think that's very important. They're not announcing anything. So any Nintendo fan watching, don't expect Grand Theft Auto 6 unless it officially gets announced. Don't hype yourself up. You're just going to be disappointed. And look, let's just pull back once again and realistically look at this. Obviously, Grand Theft Auto 6 available for the Nintendo Switch 2 would be massive. But Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online being available for the Nintendo Switch 2 also is a massive deal. Because keep in mind, the OG Nintendo Switch sold like 150 million units. And none of the other copies of Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto 5 from PlayStation or Xbox work on the Nintendo. So you better believe you're going to have people double dipping. They've got their new shiny Nintendo Switch 2s and they're like, dude, I really wish I could play Grand Theft Auto 5 right now or play GTA Online or play Red Dead Redemption. They're going to buy those games. Even if you said 10% of those consoles are going to buy it. Hey, at the end of the time, if we sold 15 million additional copies, that's a big deal. Yeah, well, 100%. We will continue to do that. But anyway, obviously, the hype for Nintendo is continuing to build. And I think that for a lot of gamers, including myself, we are just looking forward to this reveal that is coming forth on April 2nd and counting down the days. 53 days, to be exact. We've got a ticker out here behind the camera. 53 days until the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. I can't wait, the internet can't wait, and we will obviously continue to cover this story as much as humanly possible as it develops. So if you're wanting more Switch 2 news, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stick right here.